I'm a woodworker, so I love it.
Yeah.
And,
he's like, we're just going live. Here we go.
Well, I've got the countdown, so
okay.
Yeah.
So we are live, and I know this is an odd time, early for the West Coast. I don't know how many people it says 3. That usually undercounts it for me. But today with Double Talk with Ken and Kyle, we've got Alley Cat Walt, and a lot of you know him as, and I keep on going blank. I'm stuck on the Waltmas.
A gentleman prime.
Gentleman prime. Yes. So
I did like. I still can't believe you got rid of the Waltmas Prime, because that was a pretty cool name.
That was. But
I was trying to go for an angle for gentleman product reviews and all that stuff like that. So
I thought Gentleman Prime fit what you were doing more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gentleman's grooming kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
well, actually, we were talking before, and you were saying how you got rid of your channel and now you're moving on. So you want to just give us that little backstory real quick?
Sure. Yeah. So I had started. First I started with the Bearded Regard. We did I don't know if you know Casey, Bushy Beard, and a few other guys. I went over to start doing my own channel, Gentleman Prime, and then about I say fall last year, Gary from Alley Cat approached me and asked me if I would like to help him out and work with them, and I jumped at the opportunity because at that time I had just asked my fiance to marry me. I knew that we were going to look for a house, and I'm looking for opportunities to better myself, and, in my future, and and I always like to be mindful about what I do, and when I make these decisions, and I couldn't pass it up. G's been a good friend, and working with him prior to him launching the company and talking with him about the company and what his plans were, and it worked out.
To get off topic just a little, since you mentioned you're looking at houses, how is it out where you are? I know around here,
Florida's murder.
Okay.
Everything's overinflated in prices. Everything. It's
That's the housing market everywhere.
Yeah.
Around here, when I'm told what I can get for my house, it sounds good until you try and take that money and actually find something else.
Exactly.
It's high around here as well.
It's just high everywhere, and I thought for sure it would have crashed already by now, but it's still kind of holding steady and slightly raising a little bit.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah. The real estate agents are dying for anyone willing to sell their house.
Houses and trucks. Don't go try to buy a truck right now. I was bringing my car to the dealership, and I just happened to glance at trucks real quick, and they're like $10,000 more than what the sticker price is right now.
Oh yeah. Crazy. I'm glad I bought my truck about 2 or 3 years ago, because right now I'd probably end up making money.
You would. You really would.
My car got cracked up a couple months ago, and they were going to total it. They said, it's on the line. We can give you a check or we can fix it. And trying to buy a car in this market, I figured, nope, fix it. It's one of those things. Yes. If you've treated it well and it's running well, fix it. If not,
just run with it.
Yeah. But in fact, my brother wrecked his truck a couple months before mine got wrecked. And he was out there and he said it was crazy. The prices were just unreal for used vehicles.
Chad, what's going on? I haven't seen him here around in a while.
Hey, Chad. Now, I'm taking it Chad's a friend of yours. Walt.
What's that?
I take it Chad's a friend of yours?
Yeah. Me and him been friends for about a year now. I got a few friends in there. I got Mark, Jordan, Chad, Gary, of course.
Well, I was thinking of the kind words.
Yeah. That's how we bust each other's chops,
Now, so from what I understand, you're handling all the social media end of Alley Cat.
I wouldn't say all of it. If Gary decides that he wants to, do something, absolutely, I'd let him make that call. But I mean, if he gives me the opportunity to do some social media, anything as far as like customer service stuff, and then hopefully as time goes on, I can get more and more involved. But right now, it's mostly just customer service for the email, backstage at alleycat, beard.com, just doing things like this, talking to people about a company that's really pretty awesome, actually.
Yeah,
Really
I
enjoy
don't
working.
think I can remember a bigger unveiling of a company in, since I've been, watching videos and going on live streams. This was probably one of the most anticipated I've ever seen.
Well, Gary has been known to put out, he doesn't like to hype stuff up. And but when he puts out something, he does it with the purpose. This is 13 months of him testing blends, testing butters, doing all this stuff, and then once he's figured all that out, it literally was a completely different company. And and what we're doing now with the radio station and just everything else that's going on, it's really, really cool.
Oh, what about the radio station?
Oh, so yes, so we have an Alley Cat radio. It's off a station head. So if you have like Spotify, you can or Apple Music, you can log in, and it's essentially just a radio show where it's a chat like you would in YouTube. They're playing music. We have the ability to talk and and have guests on and talk, and everyone can request songs. So that's really cool. So a lot of times Mark Brown's in there, Gary's in there. It's really kind of cool to request a song and then have everybody else kind of hear the type of music that you like.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that. That's kind of cool to know about.
How do you get there again?
So if you download Station Head and then type in Alley Cat Radio, and you can follow it, and then you'll get a little notification that it's live and playing. And then someone's usually working the back end of it to take on requests for songs, and they might stop and say a few words before they play the next song. They're going to have some guests on. There might be some other gyms that go on as the future plays out. But it's really cool because it's like being on a YouTube live, but everyone's just kind of listening to music and talking in the chat.
And now, how often is it up and running if we want to listen?
I'd say he probably does it about 2 or 3 times a week. I see that there's more and more going on as time goes on.
And I guess Gary's going to put up the link.
No, you just said there is. Oh, there's
the link.
Yeah. So it's Apple Music or Spotify. Either one of those, you can use your login to chat.
So you can go into Spotify and look up Alley Cat and Spotify, and it will pop up as well.
Well, you use your Spotify account, but you'll go into Station Head is the name of the application. And then, or you can use your Apple Music profile as well to log into Station Head. And it's really cool.
Gary just spelled it out. In order to listen, you'll need Spotify or Apple Music as well. And old shows stay up for replay.
Yep. That's actually that's a really cool idea. Especially if you can get it to grow and then have certain shows at certain time of the day and stuff like that. Right. If you can kind of work with some people. I've been saying something like that would be cool. Like even like to have people call in and kind of bullshit a little bit and kind of move on, make things quick, and with all the requests and everything. That's a really cool idea.
Yeah, you can actually on the app, you can actually request different songs, and then you can also attempt to like call and talk on the phone with like you're on a radio station with whoever's running the app at that time. So if it's me or Gary, you'll be able to have a kind of a conversation. We might ask you about what's your favorite songs, what kind of music you listen to. Because at the end of the day, Alley Cat is really about music, and just the music inspired kind of life where you have songs that kind of mold who you are as a person. And then also it's just it might be punk rock vibes, or it might be regular rock and roll or country or whatever it might be, but we all have that music that kind of inspires us.
And did I hear right, if you live right near there, does he have an actual radio signal too? Or
no, it's all done over the phone, all done over the app.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, do you live close to Gary where you guys can work together or stuff like that? Or
I'm in Florida. He's in Maryland. Oh,
Maryland, yeah.
Maryland. By Baltimore, Maryland, I believe.
Yeah, Baltimore, Maryland, yeah.
Chesapeake area. But I do want to go up there and come visit him in his lab. Johnny Grooms and a few different people were able to go there and check out his place and his lab, and they all raved about how really nice it is. It's legit. It's not like some guy in a bathroom just making stuff, real sketchy. It's like very legit how he does everything. He's very particular about how he goes ahead and makes his products.
Chad just mentioned he's got his lunchbox and he's not opening it, waiting for an unboxing. Yeah. I say he opens it up and then just seals it back up.
There you go.
What I like about his bottles too is like he has his born on dates, or you can't see it on the camera.
Yeah.
But like it's actually, you can see when it was made, and so having like if it does start to go bad, I don't know if it does go bad, like some of them do, but like at least when it was made and stuff like that. So that's I think a really cool thing to have on there.
That way you're not like, did I buy this 2 years ago or a year ago? And you're smelling it and you're trying to figure it out, and you can't tell until you actually put it in your hands, and then
that's one of the things that really bothered me that I forgot to mention when I did, because I don't know anyone else that's doing that. I saw one other company that's got it on their labels, but they don't put anything there. So I think he's unique as far as.
So the Alley Cat's mindset is that they see that eventually the government will be more involved in monitoring cosmetics and how we use cosmetics, kind of how Europe is. So the way he does his portions and how much scent he puts in his products, how he does everything, he really tries to go, he goes with what is being told, is probably the industry standard, or what the FCC might want, or the Food and Drug might want.
So he's ahead of the game if and when they get in.
Especially where this industry is definitely growing. You see more and more new companies every single day. Yeah. Eventually the government's going to step in. That's just how they are. It's what they do, and they're going to want to regulate it eventually.
I've had the time where I've used oil and I wasn't careful and burned my face from the scent being too strong. And so I've always been very mindful of that. And so now when I talk to Gary, he's very careful about how much scent he's actually putting in there. FDA rule, excuse me.
There it is.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I think I've only burnt my face once, and it was just, there was some spice in there that just didn't agree with me, and that was it. But
dude, get away from my plate. I got a dog
just trying to steal your food, Kyle.
All of a sudden I just hear his tongue going. I look over and he's like getting closer and closer to my plate.
Is that the dog? Or your cat?
No, that's a dog. It's the my rescue. Now, do you know the backstory why he switched from from Chesapeake to Alley Cat?
Just it's a completely new company. Everything about it. Even the scents that he only has 2 scents that kind of transferred over, which was vintage, went to retro, and hooligan went to hooligan was from dark side. But even those actually have changed as far as how he makes the scents, and the actual scent profile is a little tweaked. So it's a completely new company.
Kyle had experience burning stuff. Yeah, I burnt my beard with fire though, not with scent. If I burnt myself with scent, I'd still have a beard.
Right.
I remember when I first heard he was changing, and I don't know if this was directly from Gary or a friend of Gary's, but talking about how Chesapeake might have been too regional. And at first I thought, what difference does the name make? But now that I've seen Alley Cat, it makes a difference.
It's a lifestyle type of mindset. We're doing coffee in the future and plenty of other things. So we're trying to kind of develop a real brand that people can identify with, and branding is so important these days.
Yeah, I saw them. He just posted something about coffee coming or something like that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Coffee lovers will definitely be interested in the plans. He's got a lot of great options out there for people to really try and enjoy.
I've got to tell you, I must be lazy as far as my coffee shopping. I love it when I get a nice quality coffee in the house. And for the next 2 weeks, I'm drinking this awesome coffee. But the reality is I find myself in Stop and Shop in Maxwell House or whatever's
Right.
on sale gets tossed in the carriage.
Oh,
So
Chad, thanks. This ain't by choice, buddy. I burnt my beard, and I'm regrowing it again.
Yes. Do you want to tell the story quick for those who don't realize why you no longer have a beard?
The reason I don't have longer have a beard is I was starting to cut down a tree in my house. I had a fire going, so there was a lot of brush in the fire pit. So as it all burnt away, I was kind of folding everything into the fire. Now I'm a little crazy. I was very close to the fire. My face was pretty much in it, but the wind was blowing from my back going forward, so I was safe, I thought. And I live down near. I live between the beaches, so you never know when the wind's going to shift. So as I was doing that, the wind just shifted right, and it was like, woof, and I wasn't quick enough to get out of the way, and I just had to cut it off.
That sucks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's not something no one ever has to do. But I tell you what, though, that was some interesting content. Seeing you burn the beard,
oh
the beard
man,
stuff, and just doing all the stuff that you did.
Yeah.
And then you started your what's in my beard, and it's like day one.
You know, like I was telling you before, I really don't need it at the beginning, but it was one of the you get used to doing a routine.
Yeah.
And it's not like I don't wear colognes. I can't wear colognes because it burns my nose, it gives me a headache and everything like that. So stuff like this, it's nice, like beard butters and oils. It's nice to wear to have like a nice fresh scent every now and then.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll tell you, my biggest decision I had to make today was, what am I going to wear, moon stoppers or ruckus?
Right.
I went for both.
That's what I've been doing. I've been combining things. Like yesterday, I did retro and hooligan. So a little cherry tobacco and a little bit of honey and tonka and oud. And yeah, it worked out well.
Yeah, I definitely have to try more.
That sounds like a nice combo.
But I love this Van Winkle. I love mint scents, and this is really nice, really clean.
Yeah.
It's like refreshing as well. I really like this scent.
Well, when Gary does a scent and he puts a scent together, he doesn't show all the scent, the whole scent profile, because he wants to kind of give some mystery to what's going on there. So you smell it, you might recognize something, but you can't put your finger on it. But also he wants to like highlight a certain scent, like in Moon Stompers, like apple is what he's wanting to highlight, but he's going to put in some woodsiness or something like that in order to kind of make it kind of crisper and kind of give it a little bit of pop. Same with the Van Winkle with the mint. You know, he's going to put some oud in there, the vanilla, just to kind of nice and tie it all together.
Mm-hmm. Vanilla is one of those great scents, I think, that pulls so much stuff together. Mm-hmm. And even if sometimes with vanilla, it's not you know it's in there, but you don't smell it, but you know it's pulling these two other scents together. Yep. I think vanilla is just a great one.
Agreed.
One thing I was curious about, the Dilligaff, DILIGAF, I think it was. Mm-hmm. The mystery scent, were those all the same, or was it a different?
Yeah, it was 30 of the same scent. Yeah. Okay. Which the mystery scent, no one really knows what it is.
Yeah, I came up with my guesstimate, and I'm sure I'm probably fairly far off. Hey, JP.
You could probably say all of them. They'll still tell you no. They don't want to let you know. It's a mystery.
If one of us got it right, would you guys let us know?
I wouldn't be able to do that. That would be
I thought I had it down to 4 cents that I could pick out. In really, I would need to get the bottle and smell it again. I can't remember what I came up with, but I thought it was honey, tobacco, and I forget the other two that I thought I got out of that. But I'll have to sniff it again. Maybe I can.
I can see what you mean about it, though. Yeah, those are some. I could see it's got kind of a sweeter scent to it.
Yeah. So, is Gary planning to do seasonal scents?
Yes. So I believe it's going to be kind of like a spring, summer, fall, winter type like lines. Might be like it's like a spring, summer tour, fall, winter tour, and it's going to kind of have that music vibe to it. And each of those, I believe he's going to try and kind of have it match that kind of, it's like, so spring and summer is going to be like a fresher scent line, and then fall, winter, you're going to have more your gourmand or darker scents. That's what what the plan is for now. But
Yep.
then again, you know, things can, you know, take a turn when he comes up with a good idea, you know.
Now, any thoughts about? I know a lot of companies are doing monthly cents. Any of that in the works, or
No, not at this time. I think
in
he's really looking forward for trying, and that's one of the reasons why he's not doing as much as the social media stuff, is he's really like digging into expanding the company, really focusing on, I mean, he loves the community and he loves giving back to community and being a part of it, but he also wants to really focus on the business itself. So that's really what he's trying to do, is whether it's Alley Cat grinds or if he's looking to do something in the future with CBD and things like that.
Yeah, I've got to tell you personally, monthly cents, I find it annoying trying to keep up, you know, with what's coming out.
Yeah.
I like the idea of seasonal scents. I love summer scents. To me, a summer scent is an all year scent.
He tries to be mindful about, he doesn't want to just take a scent and then just do a little twist on it and then say it's a new month scent. You know, he wants to, each scent that he makes, he wants to make sure it's something that's done with the purpose, kind of highlighting something that he really enjoys and he thinks everybody else will enjoy.
Yeah, and to me, not 8 cents is more than enough for a standard line.
Yeah, and then having the summer tour and the winter tour is a good mix.
No,
Kylie,
I'm sorry to say something. I'm starving, but yeah. Now, does he plan on doing any collabs with anybody, or is it just he's gonna stay away from that as well and just be his line summer, fall, winter scents?
I think for right now he's focusing on that right there. Collabs, you know, he really, the possibilities are endless. I've talked to Gary about different ideas. I'm the type of guy where I'll just shoot ideas at Gary and he'll just he'll you know, tell me if it's a good idea or if it's not. He's Gary's always been a very straight shooter, and so really the possibilities of what he's trying to do is really, he's open to different things. So as far as that.
You sound like me. I have 5 million ideas, and probably 90% of them are bad, but there's 10% of them that are really
yeah. So if I just it's like throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks, you know.
Yeah, that's like I've become really good friends with the guys, Aaron and Al from Stroke and Tyler from Woolly Wizard. And I'm always throwing them ideas. I'm like, listen, here, what about this? What about this? What about this? And sometimes they're like, yeah, that's probably not going to work. And then like, sometimes they're like, dude, that's actually a great idea.
Yeah.
I'm almost glad I don't live next to any of these guys, because I'd probably be at their house all the time. Like, let's make this, let's do this. I'll try this.
Yeah. Let them into the lab and start making sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now, so it sounds like you're pretty up on all the social media stuff. I know I struggle because, you know, even making videos, I'll come up with an idea and then, you know, go through the process of figuring out how to do it. How did you get so up to date with all this stuff?
I'm sorry, what's that?
How did you get so up to date with all this stuff? The social media end of it.
I just try and keep in contact with different people in the community. I try and stay up on IG and what's happening with Facebook. I get a lot of questions asked from the email address that at Alley Cat, and I get questions, so I talk to G and get feedback from that. But yeah, just try and be on top of things. You know, I want to be able to have answers for people.
Yeah, I've been watching some of Ken the Content Coach's stuff lately. For some reason, I thought I was subscribed, and the other day I realized I wasn't. But he's putting out some really good stuff for content creators.
Absolutely.
And I thought you might be working with them. I just seem to remember you being on his live stream.
I mean, he featured me in like one time as kind of like a little interview, because I was starting my channel, and you know, and I've become, you know, pretty good friends with him, and he wanted to be supportive, and I was very appreciative of it. But I know he kind of went into that direction, the social media stuff, but I haven't been on since. But I'm glad he made the switch to social media, the social media content creation type stuff. That's really his niche, and I think that's what he enjoys, and he seems to be really happy doing it.
That's good. Now, when you were Walt in his prime, did you do any content then, or?
I was on the Bearded Regard, so I was with Bearded Beanie. His name's Nick, and I was with Bushy Beard. That's Casey. He's now a part of Copper Johns.
Yep.
and we had Ron. I don't know, we deliberately bearded Ron. So we had some, and we had Chad Straza. He was also on the bearded regard. So we had a good crew, and we would work, do the Friday nights. We would just hang out and talk and just BS and have fun. Yeah.
I think that was before I really started learning about all these channels out there. When I first started working, it was pretty much DNC and BeardTube, and that was it. And little by little, everybody else started populating my feed.
Yep.
But yeah, because I went looking once I saw that you had a channel, and I don't think I found a lot of really old stuff. But I had heard your name all the time, so I just assumed.
Like I was saying, when I was saying backstage before we started, I'm like, I used to see him everywhere. Like, and you stop and watch the video, and then all of a sudden he disappears, and like you don't really notice it sometimes. Like we didn't really talk on a regular basis. Like we'd be in the same live stream sometimes, but then all of a sudden it's like, then you said we're gonna go on with Walt today, and I'm like, Walt, wait a minute, I haven't seen any of his videos. So I go on my phone, I start searching around. I'm like, dude, where the fuck did he go? He's like a ghost now.
Yeah, I got engaged. So I reconnected with an old girl that I used to date last year, and we just hit it off and started spending a lot of time together. We did some traveling to New Orleans, did a few different things, and I asked her to marry me. So I moved in with her, and we're getting married in 2 weeks. So
that's awesome.
In case I haven't said it yet, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, so is it getting stressful? How much of the planning is on your shoulders?
I kind of let her kind of take the wheel on it, but yeah, it's starting to kind of amp up between that. And then also, I work in home insurance claims, and I focus on this roof replacement program. And essentially we have like little events like a hailstorm or like a little tornado. So they say, okay, all the claims that happen on this day from this tornado are going to Walt, or all the hailstorms that happen on this day going to Walt. We're replacing those roofs. So I got that job probably after I asked Anna to marry me. And so between that and then moving in with Anna and then getting engaged, I was like, I had to hang up the channel. It's just too much.
I hear you. I debate how much time I spend doing this stuff, given, just having to work. I mean, all the time I spend doing YouTube is time I'm not spending earning money. Yeah. But it's definitely a struggle.
Yep.
What's up, buddy? Nate. How's it going?
But
how's it going tonight?
And I'm glad I actually stepped back, because it kind of happened at the point where that's after the, and I think it was October when I was in New Orleans. That's when Gary reached out and asked if I would be willing to help him start a new company and run with him. And companies could be very music based, especially punk rock, and very passionate about that. And I love music. You're in high school, you're starting to figure out who you are as a person. You're listening to some Sublime or 311 or some type of music that you like. And you're like, okay, I figured out who, my music genre while I'm in high school. I'm starting to hang out with different little clubs, listening to live music, and you start to get kind of scrappy and in your own way you become an alley cat, and then, so I kind of identified when he kind of told me the story,
Talking about you changing your name, I was thinking about changing mine.
E-Rock came up with is it Hush Hush?
Reverse Skunk Beard, I think, is the
reverse. The reverse Skunk Beard. Oh man, that's funny.
It's different.
It is. I've never heard that before.
E-Rock has been pretty much, that's how he's been addressing me.
Yeah.
I'm actually talking about Alley Cat. What exactly does he sell on his site? Like, what products does he offer?
At Alley Cat, so right now he's doing all of his oils, butters. He's got the beard gummy supplements right here. Beard gummy vitamins.
Dude, I didn't even realize you had all kind of Alley Cat shit behind you. I'm such a moron. I was just looking, and all of a sudden you reach over, like, wait a minute.
Yeah, and then he's got a really great wash and conditioner that are just fantastic. Honestly, I never was like when I was reviewing, I never was a big like wash and conditioner guy. I had, I'd use just random companies, whatever I kind of would win in a situation. And I started using this one, and it's not overly stripping, so it doesn't make your beard feel like dry or brittle. And then when you use the conditioner, it's like almost like you put a butter in. So definitely worth checking out.
Now it's a daily wash. So what you're pretty much saying,
yes.
you can use.
So I use this one daily. Absolutely.
I've been using it for the last 2 weeks, and I'm limited, I think, in how much I can tell about washes. But so far, it's been feeling good. And I like how with the wash, a little goes a long way.
Yep.
You're not filling your hand with that stuff.
Oh yeah,
it really sets up good.
Now I find that that's what sucks about conditioners, though. It's like I like, me personally, when the beard was longer, I like to wash and conditioner into one bottle, just because when you put a conditioner in, it's like you got to use so much to really get it in there.
Yeah.
Compared to where it's combined, you can kind of just throw it all in, and it's like done in one swoop.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we actually are considering maybe changing one of the bottles and make one of the bottles a little bit smaller, because it goes so long. You can make it last for a while. Because you're going to end up buying one more than the other.
Yeah.
Oh, now which is that? The conditioner?
I think the daily wash, they're thinking about making it into a smaller bottle, if I'm correct, just because it can go longer.
Yeah. And often people use conditioner more.
Yeah.
You might have days when you're just conditioning and not washing. Personally, for me, I haven't tried it with Alley Cat yet, but if I try and wash every day, it's it's a bad result for me.
Right. See, I don't know. Me personally, I have to wash it every day. I don't know how people go without washing it, because if I don't wash one day, I feel like I'm just like, that's the type of person I like. People say, "Oh, don't wash your hair every day." Fuck that noise. I gotta wash my hair every single day, or I feel like it's like itchy and everything like that. I don't know how people do it.
Absolutely. No, I was wrong. Other way around. Conditioner is going to be smaller as it's used less.
Okay, I would have thought it's used more, only because some days you're using just the conditioner and not the wash. But I always use a conditioner if I use a wash.
Right.
But Gary's the expert, so
yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, Russ washes daily as well.
Walt's just the face because he's a little prettier, I think.
Oh man.
A little.
Not the case. I appreciate that, guy.
His face is all right.
Oh, man.
I still love you though, Gary.
So I don't know if you want to talk about it, but as far as the honeymoon.
Oh yeah. So we're going to Colombia. So my fiance is from Colombia. She's from Cali. So after the wedding in February, we're going to go to Colombia. We're going to stop by and see some of her relatives. We're going to go to the water and have some fun, and it's going to be a good time.
So her family's a bit of a distance from you?
What's that?
Her family's a bit of a distance from you?
So her immediate family's here, but her extended family is over in Colombia.
Uh-huh. And by Colombia, you mean British Columbia?
No. Like Colombia, like South America, Colombia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's Colombian. Yeah.
Oh, so you're going to, okay. When you said Colombia.
Yeah, no, I didn't specify. Yeah, we're going to Colombia, South America. So it's gonna be fun. I've never left the country, so this is gonna be new for me.
So it's gonna be a real treat.
I never left the country either, and my wife keeps trying to get me. I'm like, I don't want to get on a plane. I've been on a plane twice in my life. And it was both on one trip. I was going down to basic training in Oklahoma. So I rode a big plane from Boston to Chicago, and then Chicago to Oklahoma was a small plane. So the big plane ride was fine. Once I got on the small plane, dude, it was like this. We hit turbulence. It was shaking the whole time. I remember the lady coming by and be like, "Hey, you want something to drink? I'm not letting go of my fucking chair. Just leave me alone and keep on walking." And that ride terrified me so bad. I've never been on a plane again. And I actually, when I came back home, I took a bus from Oklahoma to Massachusetts, which took 4.5 days. And it was so long, but it was still so much better than riding on a plane.
Wow.
I'm getting a kick out of how when you said Colombia, my thought was, oh well, you're staying in the States. I don't know what the hell I was thinking.
When you said Colombia, I thought South America myself. So
no, she's lived here since high school. She's about the same age as me. She's about 38. So she's been here for a while. So she doesn't get a chance to see her extended family very often. So I took her to New Orleans to see my my friends and family and whatnot. And, so now it's time for me to go see her friends and family in Colombia,
Nate,
I've never been to Florida.
Taking you up in his plane. And I would think Nate would know that you're not from Rhode Island, given the name of your
no, he knows I'm from Massachusetts. He lived in Rhode Island. But I've never been to Florida. That shit's too hot. You'll never catch me in Florida.
It is hot.
Dude, I can't take the heat, man. I'll move to Alaska before I move to Florida.
This is the only time it's actually close right now. Like even in January, I'll still sweat from time to time because I'm outside, like mowing a lawn or doing some woodworking or something like that, and it's hot enough to where you're sweating. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, I can never do it. I can't do it. I would probably, if I lived down there, I'd probably never leave the house. I'd be that guy that just peeks out the window, looks out, and like, yep, I'm going back inside.
Yeah. Have the air conditioning cranked down to 65.
Exactly. That's like even now in the wintertime, my wife hates me sometimes, but I have the fan above our bed on. I have the fan on the side of the bed going, and I'll lower the temp to like 60 degrees, and it's like I sleep like a baby like that.
Oh yeah.
I gotta have that he's from Alaska.
I'm from Alaska. I would love to live in Alaska. I would love it.
Oh yeah. Thanks, Joey. Yeah. I'm 83 when I was born, 1983.
So, by the way, how long a plane trip is that to Colombia?
I think it's 6 hours.
Okay, I was gonna
5 to 6 hours.
That bad. My ex had been to Machu Picchu 3 times in her life, and my sister jokingly hated her for it because she had always wanted to be there. My ex was from Peru, so unfortunately I never got down there. But
Nate, you would have never caught me in your little ass plane with just me and you in it. No matter what you offered, no matter how much money, my ass would have never gotten that plane. This ain't happening.
My barber is actually a pilot.
Really?
Yeah. Well, he was training to be a pilot. He had gotten accepted into some program with, I think it was US Air, and then COVID just kind of changed everything.
Oh, for sure.
But he flies every, I think, Saturday or Sunday, and I'm sure he'd take me up, but I don't know. I think I'm with Kyle that I'll skip it.
I'll stay on the ground and I'll watch from the ground and wave to everybody. See you later.
Yeah.
Hope you land safely.
My pops is like that.
My brother's getting married in Mexico next year in September, and I'm like, and he's like, "Oh, I want you there," and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not getting in a plane. I'm just not doing it." It pisses my wife off too. My wife wants to travel and everything like that, and I'm like, "Yeah, I don't want to get in a plane." That's like certain
Kentucky.
There's certain parts of the country I don't want to go to California. The fucking ground moves. I don't want to go anywhere with like crazy shit.
Is it just the stress of flying, or do you think you're going to die if you get in that plane?
A little bit of both.
I mean, you could get a prescription, take a Percocet or something, and
There you go. You'll be flying high in more ways than
you can pop me pills. I can smoke a whole ounce of weed, and I'm still not getting on that plane. I still know what that shit's going to do, and I'm not getting on that. Ain't happening.
Yeah.
We know Russ is kidding.
What was Russ kidding about?
I don't know. He must.
I can't read the comments and talk at the same time. Or if I start, if Walt starts talking and I start reading the comments, I block him out. So from having kids, I focus on one thing and everything else gets blocked out.
Yeah, I get that tunnel vision. That's me.
Yeah. Listen, when you have like kids like acting up in the house and you're trying to watch like a football game or whatever, you learn very quickly how to shut that noise off. And just like I remember once like they were fighting literally 2 feet away from me, swearing at each, and I'm just football games on, didn't even hear them.
Yeah, they just zone it out.
Yeah.
Rogers mentioned that earthquakes aren't that bad. We've actually, it's kind of funny here in Rhode Island, Massachusetts, we get one every once in a while.
Actually, I had one this past summer. It scared the living shit out of me. I was like, what? I was upstairs in my house. And at first it sounded, I thought it was just the washer like uneven. And it was like, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. But then as I started coming down the stairs, I felt the house shake. And I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. I've never been in one, but that probably freaked me out. I've been in hurricanes and pretty close to a tornado. But,
you guys have some, you guys have vicious hurricanes down there in Florida.
Yeah. It's what keeps me in business.
Oh, yeah. That we haven't had a hurricane up here in Massachusetts since like Hurricane Bob, which was like 92-ish. Yeah. 93 around there.
I mean, we get a lot of them, but they peter out by the time they get here.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I remember, Bob, something I used to do is whenever we had a hurricane, 2 or 3 days afterwards, you'd get like 15, 18, 20-foot swells and get out there with the boogie boards. There's talk about an amusement park ride.
Yeah.
Riding a 20-foot wave is,
that's awesome.
It's awesome.
We have a lot of the hurricanes, and I think it was Hurricane Charlie. Like the eye of the hurricane went actually over our house. So we're in this like really, really bad windstorm, rain, lightning, all stuff like that. Then all of a sudden it just clears up. We go outside, let the dog out to go to the bathroom, and then 20 minutes later, it just roaring again. Like it was just very strange how that 20 minutes of being in the eye is just so calm, and it's weird.
That's a nice day.
Weird feeling.
I'll tell you,
it's crazy how the eye is so calm, and so a little part of this area can be so calm, and then everything else around it is just
exactly.
It's crazy how that works.
Yeah,
I think I would take a hurricane any day over a tornado.
A tornado, I ain't playing around with that shit. I was in basic training. We were out in the woods. We were probably about like 10 miles away from the base, and all of a sudden I remember looking up, and I'm like, drill sergeant, what the hell is that up there? He's like, oh, that's just a funnel cloud. Whoa. What do you mean just a funnel cloud? I said, isn't that the start of a tornado? And he's like, it could be. And I'm like, I don't play around it. I remember running back to the barracks. They were screaming at me to come back. I got to the barracks underneath my bed, and I stood there for a while. I was petrified of that shit.
Yeah.
I was once in Mexico, and something I do if I go on vacation, I always spend 3 or 4 hours sailing just for the hell of it, to make sure I still know how to do it. And I was out there, and all of a sudden a water spout came down. And I'm thinking, no big deal. But then as it got closer, I was like, I don't know. Might be time to head back into shore. Those water spouts, mini tornado.
Yeah. In hurricanes, we get those like this little F1 tornadoes will jump down while the hurricane's going on, because there's just so much wind going on. So you'll get these quick little F1 tornadoes, which those are the smallest tornadoes you have. So they're not like these giant, massive ones that you can really pick up and see from like 30 miles away or anything like that. But it's still kind of crazy because they come in so quick and they leave so quick.
92 was 8 years before I, you young buck.
I'll tell you, we get tornadoes every once in a while around here where Kyle and I are. But I mean, it's
minor. It's like quick.
It's a thing on the news. Oh, they had a tornado that lasted 3 minutes and knocked over a sign.
There was one either this past summer or the summer before up in the Cape that did some damage recently.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
They ripped off some roofs off a couple of motels, hotels.
Yeah, they come in quick.
Actually, Hurricane Gloria was like 86, I think it was 87. Me and my brothers were in our room playing, and the tree in our backyard literally fell on our house, and we were playing in our room. Then all of a sudden we had tree all around us, like branch. I still like looking back at it now, being older. I'm like, how did nothing hit us? It blew over. It blew over through the roof. Like everything just went pushed away from us, and we were just in a tree, and nothing hit us. No scrapes or nothing. It's crazy looking back at it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I remember Gloria, and there were trees down everywhere.
Everywhere.
Roads blocked off for weeks, or a week. And I remember our whole house was electric. So no heat, no cooking, no nothing.
And Gloria was
camped out with the next door neighbors for about 5 days.
And Gloria stuck around for a couple of days, if I remember correctly. I know I was young, but I believe it was a couple of days.
Yeah, I was relatively young, but it was a big one.
Like
And then
Florida
Bob-
is just strange with the hurricanes because like people will throw hurricane parties where literally you just buy a bunch of booze and beer, and people will go to each other's house and just party while the hurricane's going on. And then after the hurricane's gone, there's trees laying down the street. They're cutting them with chainsaws and pulling the trees off the road with their dualies and their big trucks.
Yeah, but you guys, well, actually, we were supposed to have a hurricane this past summer. I got the yard all cleaned up, and then I opened up my garage door, and I literally had a chair, a table, and I was ready to sit there and watch the hurricane.
Yeah.
And we got nothing.
Yeah.
And then what pissed me off was here I am prepared for this big storm. We got absolutely, like, we're gonna get nailed, we got nothing. But then like maybe like 3 or 4 days later, maybe even a week, we had this vicious windstorm that they didn't warn us about anything, and I had shit flying all over the yard like it was worse than a hurricane. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Something
happens.
Yeah.
Ross mentioned, water spots are no joke. When I saw it, I had a feeling that I was a little too close to it, and hightailed it for sure. But it did look like it could do some damage to a little 14-foot sailboat.
It's so hard to even gauge, like, because when we predict hurricanes, they're out in the ocean. So you're assuming that it's going to hit you. So you got people who are dropping like $300 on plywood to cover up their windows and everything like that. They're drilling holes into the side of their house to put the plywood up. And then the hurricane just goes, just backtrack it. And then the people are like, God damn it, I spent like $300 doing all this shit. And now, nothing happened.
My question is, what do these people do with all this plywood? Because then they're always buying it all up again. So like, don't you store this plywood away and reuse it?
They usually put it in the back of their house or their garages and stuff like that. They'll spray paint it sometimes and put like, things about the hurricane, like tell the hurricane to go F itself and different things like that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, we are lucky compared to Florida. We get nothing up here now.
We get nothing up here, really. I think, to me personally, like this New England area is probably one of the safest areas of the United States to live in. We have no hurricane. I mean, we barely get hurricanes. There's no tornadoes, really. There's no earthquakes. There's none of that, really. Like, we get minor stuff of those things. We get maybe a little tornado, maybe a little bit of a hurricane, a little bit of a whatever else was earthquake, but nothing like really damaging around here.
What about the snow? Y'all have problems with snow?
Not anymore.
Lately, there was like 3 or 4 years ago, we were getting nailed with snow. There was a snowstorm like every Sunday, to the point, like, I remember at one point in my yard, I probably had snow like maybe like 8 feet high.
Jeez.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Because something that's happened when I was a kid, it'd snow in the beginning of the winter, and you knew spring was coming when you could see the grass. It hasn't been that way for 30 years. One year we got a lot of snow. Get snow 1 week, then it'd melt, then get more, then it'd melt, and then get more, then it'd melt. We haven't had a winter where you can't see the grass for the whole winter for probably 30 or 40 years.
Now, so you didn't get like 3 or 4. Let's see, it's probably like 4 now, 4 or 5. You didn't get those storms that was every week, every Sunday.
Got the storms every week, but I thought it kept on melting on us.
Not mine. I wonder if the pictures will pop up in my memories. If it does, I'll send them to you to show you.
Yeah, I mean, I could be wrong, but
I remember actually we were like even like kind of like digging little tunnels with the kids just to kind of play around because it was so high. It was crazy.
Yeah.
After that year, that's when I bought the snow thrower, and there's been no snow really ever since.
Now we're complaining about hurricanes. Aldemir's got tsunamis to worry about.
Yeah. It's wild, man.
Dude, he lives in Hawaii. I don't want to hear him complaining about it. It's beautiful out there 99.9% of the time.
Yeah.
So you tell them to live with it.
Now, as far as Alley Cat goes, do you plan on putting out any videos or anything like that talking about it, or?
Well, we have the YouTube channel, and we will probably put out some sort of content. We're still in the air about that, about exactly what it's going to be. I mean, we want to provide content for people to watch, but we also, it's, how you go about doing it, because when you're doing it as a reviewer and your content, you're coming from a very subjective mindset of I'm impartial.
Tyler, what's up, buddy?
and I'm coming from a impartial area. But when you're doing it from a company, you have to have a different mindset. So exactly how we do it or what we're going to do, that's still kind of being talked about. But we will do some stuff on the channel.
I think it would be pretty cool to like have little short videos where you just talk about each individual, like just say this video is about Van Winkle, and just have like a little talk about the scent or why it went this direction, and then that's all it is, like a simple description of it,
Right.
and what you think of it or what his mindset was to put it together.
Yeah.
And I think and like the mindset of the name, why do you pick this name for this scent? I think short little videos like that where it's short, where people will watch it and watch the whole thing, but enough where you get enough information and to let people know about the individual scent. I think something like that would be a great idea.
Yeah, that would be cool, because I think it's, if they're short enough, it can grab someone's attention, but they're not like just hanging out listening to a 20 or 30-minute video.
Yeah.
When I was doing my channel, I always kind of tried to keep it short as well.
I think he should do a video where he tells us what's in Dilligaff.
Or maybe come out with 20 videos that tell you what's in Dilligaff, and you got to pick which one it really is.
Exactly.
Right.
There you go.
Now, Ian, you're going to get a break anyway from doing heavy lifting, from what Gary said, until after you marry your lovely fiance. So the hard work starts afterwards.
Yes, Mike.
I'm up for it. I'm up for it. I really like this company. I like what it stands for, just very much about music and just, having fun with a music inspired community. I think we all can relate to music in one way or form or another, where we really got into music and found out what we like, whether it's classic rock, punk rock, metal,
And I'm trying to remember, what was the significance of the 98 cents? I thought there was some meaning. The price of the products ends in 98 cents. And I could have sworn DNC, or maybe it was Ken the Content Coach, said there was some significance for the 98 cents.
That's going to be a question for Gary, because I'm not too sure about that one.
It must have been DNC that mentioned it.
Yeah.
And I don't remember if he said what the significance was.
Ken, I told you can't ask Walt hard questions. He's just the face of the company. He can answer the simple questions.
98 is when he graduated high school in the Marines. Asked and answered.
Oh, there it is. See, that's who you had to ask. You had to ask Gary.
Yeah, and that's another thing I really like about it is it's owned by a veteran, which that's one of my regrets, never being in the joining the military. But all the men in my family have either been in the Navy or the Marines or the Army, so got a lot of respect for that. Anybody who does that.
Definitely. And what branch was Gary in? Marines, you said?
I
believe he was in the Marines.
Yep.
Come on, Walt, you gotta know these answers.
Yeah,
Gary, you need to get a book with all the information, whatever questions you get thrown at him, so he has an answer for it.
Yeah,
tell him to study.
Yeah, there you go. I need the book of G, right?
There it is, the book of G.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Nope, I don't know what
I got a mouthful of fish anyway. Go ahead.
But I'm just really happy to be able to kind of just work with him, because me and him become pretty good friends. Whether it's helping customer support, or if someone's got a question about the product or wants an opinion on what they should order, or if they just want to talk about music or something like that, they can hop on the radio station. We can hang out and chat about different type of music and what we listened to growing up.
Oh, so you already had a cheat sheet. We're just not asking the right questions.
That's our problem. We never ask the right questions.
I don't know that one. And then chocolate chip, I don't know. Cookie dough.
It's cookie dough.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alley Cat Beard. Just 1% of our population currently serve this. Really, only, well, yeah. At one point, we had I thought it was a 2 million man military. which would come out to about 1%.
Yeah.
Oh, they're having trouble getting the kids to sign up for this nowadays. These kids nowadays don't want to do stuff like that. They don't want to listen to anybody. They know everything, and it's eventually it's going to be like people are going to start getting drafted. Is what's going to end up happening.
I couldn't agree more, Kyle. So it's called Station Head, Russ. If you want to message me, on IG, and I can point you in the right direction. So if you have Spotify or Apple Music account, you can download Station Head app, and you can log in to Station Head with one of those accounts.
Hey, Ron.
And you can go ahead and listen to the music, hang out, request songs, talk to people and the crew.
Maybe you should do a little video on that itself, just explaining people how to get on it, where to go, because I didn't hear about this until you mentioned it here.
Yeah.
So I don't know how long it's been out, but maybe if you do a little video, put it on YouTube, Instagram, wherever else you guys are, just to let everybody know.
Yep. If you go to the website, I think there's a spot where it says, Alley Cat Radio, and you can click on the link, and then it'll give you some more information.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I'll tell you, well, that's one of the things I kind of regretted too. At one point, I tried, or I looked briefly into getting some sort of civilian position within the military with my accounting background. But when I was 14, I can remember watching the news talking about the Vietnam War and saying to myself, I know where I'm going in 4 years. So when I turned 18, after thinking that was going to happen to me, last thing on my mind was joining the military. But
I was 18 when 9/11 happened.
Yep.
And so there was talks of, my dad was in the Vietnam War, and it was like, well, do I join the military and go that route? It's 9/11's going on, everyone's going to Iraq, or do I go to college? And my dad's like, no, go to college, and then if they draft, then you can join before the draft hits you, because my last name starts with a U. So whenever that's like the curse of having a name that's like what starts with a U or like a very unusual letter, you usually get drafted pretty quickly. So
how did W's do?
What's that?
How did W's do?
I imagine they don't do
very well. Yeah, I mean,
I agree with something like that. Unless it's medical or something like that, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, the draft was around until the late 70s, if I remember right.
I believe so.
But nowadays, from what I understand, the hardest part of filling the military roles is finding qualified people.
Yep.
And
then people they
don't want everybody.
We live in a world of snowflakes. Everyone gets their feelings hurt and all that stuff like that, and no one wants to work. No one, let alone working one job. Nobody wants to work a second job. When my dad, he worked 3 jobs. He worked Monday through Friday, his regular job, and then he'd teach night school Monday through Friday, and then he'd work on the weekends at the port of New Orleans. So, that was always kind of still to me. You work when you hit your teenage years, you do stuff to earn your keep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't known what a 5-day week is in probably about ever. When I was a kid, I'd have 3 part-time jobs, which I kind of liked, because with part-time jobs, a lot of them kind of stink. And if you've got 3 jobs and one of them gives you a hard time, see ya. It's.
Yeah, I got 2 other jobs I can rely on until I find another one. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're running towards the end of it. We've got about a minute left. I know Kyle likes to get off to another live stream that's starting up. Anything you want to say about Alley Cat before we head out?
Yeah, we're really looking forward to people joining the radio station and hanging out with us, talking about music. We got a lot of plans. If you have any ideas, please feel free to email them over or message them over, because we're always open to people giving their thoughts on how we can be a better company. We want it not just to be a beard company. We want it to be a grooming company. We want it to be a coffee company. We want it to be a CBD company. We want it to be a brand that people can identify with and go for multiple sources of products.
I'm kind of looking forward to the coffee.
Yep.
Coming out of a beard related company, it'd give me an excuse to buy the good stuff.
There you go.
Instead of my Maxwell House.
Yep. And I'm going to Columbia, so I can do some research on some coffee. So there you go.
There you go. I got an idea for you. Maybe you need like an hour midday show with me on it. I think that'd be a great idea.
There you go. Absolutely. You got the voice for radio.
Success.
Yeah, you got the voice for radio.
I definitely not the face, but I got the voice. Everybody can't be pretty like you, Walt.
Oh man. Oh, buddy.
We do appreciate you coming on, Walt.
Yeah, thank you very much.
This has been a blast, man. You guys are awesome. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, we're going to sign out. Thank you very much for stopping in, and for all of you in the chat. And I think we're going to call it a wrap. Keep this.
Have a nice night, guys.